Hi, I'm Todd Wente, and this is the Daily 180. 180 seconds of motivation and inspiration to help you take the action that you need to in order to improve your life. Today is day 3 of the Daily 180, so you're new into this experiment along with the rest of us. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. You know, last time in episode 2, we talked about how to stay with things when things got tough. Today, we're going to talk about how to start something new. That certainly is something that I'm doing right now, and hopefully, as this is a new year, perhaps this is something new that you stumbled upon. Today is something that we'll be able to relate to getting started with something new for you and for your life. When I think of starting something new, I go back into my childhood and I remember something, maybe some of you do too, but I remember watching something that I watched it year after year. At Christmas time, we watched the different Christmas specials, and one of the ones that I watched was Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And in that one, there was a song. There was a song that I've remembered my entire life, and it was called "Put One Foot in Front of the Other." It went kind of like this: "Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor." I mean, and it goes on and on and on. You know, talks about just taking a step, taking one step. That idea for me stuck with me from when I was a kid, 8, 7 years old, and has stayed with me decades later. In fact, to this day, when I'm starting to do stuff, or when I'm a little bit scared, when I'm a little bit intimidated by something going on, that's what I do. I sing that song to myself. One foot in front of the other. It's kind of goofy, I know, but it helps me. It helps me because I recognize that if I'm going to start something new, I have to be brave enough to take the first step. And that's the challenging part. It relates to that, to the statement, to the quote that many of us have heard: "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." For many of us, the toughest part about starting something new is taking the first step. Aristotle championed the idea back in 500 BC of the idea of a prime mover, of someone or something that can start things without necessarily being moved to start something else, or of being required to do it, being acted on by something else. In our modern times, human beings have been put into the category of prime movers. If you're going to be a prime mover in your own life, if you're going to be responsible for starting new things in your life, you're going to have to find some way of making that change. A hope, a dream, something that you want bad enough that you can change what you're currently doing, that you can take the first step. It is not important that you have all of the steps mapped out. In fact, probably one of the scariest things about starting something new is we don't always know where everything's going to go. But that's okay. Just take the first step. And if you have to, sing a silly song to get yourself to do it. Thanks very much for joining me for the Daily 180. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, go forth and conquer.